Hello everyone, my name is Griff, and today I'm going to be going over the new mana spirals that were just announced. So today at Reset, we got a few things of information. We got information that the Crescendo of Courage is coming tomorrow, which we knew that it was coming during the end of the month. I predicted it was probably going to be around this week or next week. We got information on the Platinum Showcases and the Dragon Special that are now live. I didn't want to make a video going over them because they're kind of basic, but I can just quickly go over them really quickly. This dragon isn't really worth getting. She's a light in skill haste, but she doesn't really do much. Nimbus also isn't really worth getting. He's kind of... There's not really a lot of people in water that truly benefit off of him. Most of them just want Siren, or they want Leviathan or they want, I forget what their name is, but C&G, which is the Easter Dragon, because the Easter Dragon has the best rotations with skills because of the way that her ability works. And then you have Shinobi. Shinobi's always been one of the best Shadow Dragons, so if you do want to go for him, that'd be the one to go for, but honestly, I would wait. And I wouldn't summon on this, because we're probably going to get a Gala at the end of the month with a Gala Dragon. And we just had a Gala, we just got a Gala remix. I did actually summon on that. I am going to put a video out of me summoning on that. Spoiler alert, I did actually end up spending Wormite on that banner. I don't know if it was a smart choice or not, but I did. But now we're going to take a look at the mana spirals. So right here it says adding mana spirals to more adventures. And here we are. Affected adventures: Juliet, Hildegard, Albert, Summer, Cleo, and Anamine. So I'm going to go down each one, get my impressions on each one. First we have Juliet. Impending Sky, which is her shareable skill. Deals light damage to enemies directly ahead and restores half the damage taken using this skill as HP. Right away, this seems not... I mean, it seems bad in a way, because basically what this is saying is that when you use a skill in Dragalia Lost, you are invincible for that duration of the move, because you have what's called iframes. And iframes are essentially just, you can't be hit while you're doing anything. It's the same thing that they added to rolls, and that's why a lot of people don't like the roll system now, because you're just invincible on rolls. You can just roll back and forth, and you'll never take damage. What they're doing with this is they're actually taking away the iframes, it seems, and they're making it so that you still take damage, but you only take half damage. So I don't know if this skill is going to be good or not. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means that she'll be completely impervious to damage in a sense, maybe she has super armor on this, like in Smash Bros, where it's you can technically get hit by a purple and a purple indicator and still do the damage and still take off a bunch of damage and then heal back up half of what you just took. So it's possible that that could be something that she can do, but honestly I'm not too sure about that. But as you can see here, 2 hits dealing that much damage is what she normally has, but now she has just as deals light damage ahead. So hopefully the mods on that are better. Then her second skill is Glorious Guard. Activates Indomitable Spirit for 20 seconds. The user gains a defense increase of 50% and immunity to knockback. That's what her skill already is, except it's only 10 seconds, now it's doubled. When activating Divine Strike, also activates Divine Strike. Okay. When this effect is active, the user's next Force Strike will do an additional damage and reduce the foe's strength by 10% for 10 seconds. This effect cannot stack and will be consumed on use. Okay. So she gets a unique Force Strike, I'm assuming, off of this, maybe. We'll have to see. Most of the time when it happens, they get a one-time unique Force Strike, so we'll have to see. Co-ability didn't change at all. Chain co-ability didn't change at all, that's pretty normal. Floral Knight. Okay, so currently she has Slayer Strength, but now she has Floral Knight. Increases defense by 20%, also increases strength by 6%. So that's what she already had, the increases strength by 6% for up to 5 enemies defeated. Up to 5 times per quest, yep. So they just added an additional 20% on this. Opponent Poison, so she already has Poison. Then she has Last Recovery, which... Did she already have 4? What'd she have? This is just Last Recovery. It doesn't say what level. But now it's Last Recovery 5. So, all in all, I don't know about this unit. Dragalia has never favored defensive units, in the sense that, as opposed to offensive and defensive, the only time they've ever really favored defensive units is when there is no time constriction, because those defensive units can literally just live forever. And I feel like Juliet's one of those characters that's you have the Mega Man event, or you have the Monster Hunter event, where you have these untimed events and you have these untimed battles where you can use anyone and you just win, and you get the rewards just for winning. There's no time constraint. She'd probably be super good in that, especially after her Mana Spiral, because she literally could just live forever. Because if she ever did get low, which I doubt will ever happen because of how much just defense she has, she's going to get a huge regen stack on top of that. So, all in all, I really want to see mods on her before I say anything else, because I feel like they could really buff up the skill 1. I feel like they have to kind of give her at least like another 100k, another 1k on the skill 1, if I'm going to be honest. And then maybe we can talk about her being good, but otherwise, if it's not that much mods added, I can't see that being that good. Okay, so next we have Hildegard. Hildegard is Radiant Saver, which I'm going to actually bring up her page currently. I believe this is the exact same skill, they just changed it so that it probably has more mods on it, but we can't really tell right now. So let me find Hildegard. Okay, here we go. Hildegard's current skill: restores HP to all allies and removes curse. Okay. New Hildegard: restores HP to and removes curse, then continues healing over 15 seconds. Okay, so this is now a regen ability. That was one of the worst things about Hildegard in the early game, was that she had no regen ability. She just had this super gigantic heal on her skill 1. So that is something to take into mind with her. Next, we have Sacred Guard. Let's see what the new one is. Grants all teammates a one-time use shield that nullifies damage less than 30% of maximum health on all teammates, and a regen buff for 15 seconds. This does not stack with the shield at the same time. Okay, so that's the same. It's the same she has right here. Okay, that's interesting. So I don't know what they're gonna add to this. I'm a little sad that it's not a life shield. I was really hoping she would get a life shield, because I feel like that would really, really have helped Light if there was a proper life shielding healer, unlike Grace. But it doesn't seem like that's in the cards for her. So we'll have to see the modifiers on that, see if it's better. I'm assuming it's just going to be better healing just in general, but we will have to see. Recovery potency didn't change. HP plus 6% didn't change. So now she has skill prep and skill charge. She just had skill prep before. Pretty normal. Potent curse stress, pretty normal. Okay. Divite Oracle increases the potency of recovery skills by 15% when HP is 70% or above. That's what she has right now. On HP 70 equals healing. But then she also has using Radiant Saber grants the user Devout Oracle effect. When this effect is active, the user's next 4 strikes will restore HP to the team member most in need. Interesting. So this reminds me of like Verica skill 2. We're gonna have to see how good the heal is. If it's equal to Verica skill 2, she will be the best healer in the game, because she will have a ridiculous regen on her skill 1, a regen on her skill 2, and a 4 strike that will heal 2 more people on top of that. So right there, automatically, she has 2 skills that heal. She has 2 heals on her first skill. She has 3 heals on her first skill, one of which is a regen effect. The other 2 are which probably just bulk healing to someone who needs it. And then on her second skill, she has a shield and a regen effect. And this Radiant Saber comes up pretty often. It's not, I mean, it has, how much up speed does it have? It only has 5,000. Which isn't a lot for healers, if I'm being completely honest. It's really not that much. Her skill 2 does have quite a bit, so maybe we'll see an SP increase in these, but otherwise, that's not bad at all. All in all, I don't know how to feel about her. She'll probably be good, but Light has kind of fallen into this meta where they didn't need a healer for Hyzodi, and then people wanted Vixel instead because he had regen on his skill 1, but now, looking at her now, depending on how the Shadow Agito goes, she could potentially be super good. Next we have Albert. His first skill, let's actually bring up his page really quickly. Albert. His first skill, Lightning Burst. Deals lightning damage to targets directly ahead. Paralyzed foes take extra damage. Now, if I remember correctly, he doesn't have that on his first skill. No, he doesn't. Okay. It doesn't mention it here in this, and I believe it doesn't even mention it in the game. It mentions it as part of his second skill. But when he does use his second skill, it puts him into a sort of like a stance, and his first skill does more damage. So let's see what we have here on the rest of his kit. Electrifies users for 25 seconds. When electrified, the user's 4 strikes will have 2 charge levels and inflict paralyze at level 2, and the lightning burst skill will be powered up. Okay. The skill gauge for the skill can be filled by attacking, but when the user is not electrified, the skill gauge will also fill automatically. Abilities that increase skill gauge fill rate will not affect. Okay, so essentially what they're talking about here is that this move just fills up on its own. It used to take a while. Yeah, 4,000 per second. I don't remember how long it actually takes to level that up. I don't want to do the quick math right now. But basically, he has paralysis on his when he's on his 4 strikes now. I don't remember if he had 2 levels before, but I guess he did. I really didn't play him that much. But right off the bat, just the fact that Lightning Burst now does extra damage to paralysis foes, super good. Extremely good. He will fit directly into paralysis comps now. The issue with him was that he would wear out the amount of paralysis just due to how he would play. Because he had it on his 4 strikes, and a lot of the time Swords just wanted to go for 4 strike after 4 strike with the old combos. And I think there's a change you're going to read here in a second, and actually we'll just talk about it now. Code abilities are the same. It's right here. Impulse Slash grants the user a unique 4 strike and increases structure damage by 50%. When the user is not electrified, the user's 4 strike will consume 5% of the Thunderous Impulse gauge. Skill gauge. When the user is electrified, the skill gauge will not be consumed, and the 4 strike will be increased on an additional 10%. So, what this tells to me is that the way they want him to be played now is not the way that we played him before, which is that you would just spam 4 strikes because you would have, he originally had 4 strike damage, I believe. Yes, he did. He had 4 strike damage when he first came out. You just spam 4 strikes, get electrified, spam more 4 strikes, and spam your skill 1 when it was up. That's how you played him before. Now, I really think that you're going to mostly not use your 4 strike, just combo 5 most of the time until you have Thunderous Impulse up. Then once you have Thunderous Impulse up, you're going to keep 4 striking and using your skill 1. And then once that's done, then you'll use, you'll go back to just comboing 5. So all in all, they did change, it seems like they're changing the way the character's played, because they're saying that this will take up 5% of the skill gauge, which means that if you're spamming 4 strikes, you'll never get this fully charged. So it's something to think about. But honestly, I think that this might be a good change. I think it's going to really increase his DPS depending on how people play him. He has Poison Res as usual, and then Electricity Charge increases strength by 30%, attack rate by 10% when electric. And I believe that was not, yeah, it was, okay, so originally it was only 25% strength. Now he has an extra 5% strength and 10% attack speed. The attack rate is actually super undervalued. Attack rate is probably one of the best buffs you can get in Dragalia Lost by far. So the fact that he's going to have an attack rate buff every, I don't know, every like 30 seconds, because this is going to last 30, this is going to last 25, and then you start charging it again. Just keep going. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. All in all, I want to see mods on him. I really want this skill 1 to have a nice mod when it's punishing, because right now it does 1 hit of 38 when electrified, which isn't, neither of these mods are good for a skill 1 at this point for 2000 SP. However, if you're electrified and they're paralysis, I could easily see this being a 3k damage modifier, which is really high for Dragalia Lost, but honestly I think they could do it because that's so many like caveats you have to have. You have to have paralysis and you have to have Thundering Impulse to get that really, really big lightning burst. But he is a legacy Cygames character, so I think they could probably do it for him. Next we have Summer Cleo. I'll quickly bring up her page. Her first skill, Partial Shot, deals light damage directly and inflicts paralysis on the target and nearby enemies, and fires extra shots equal to the number of buffs the user has. A minimum of 5 additional shots can be fired. Oops, I took the light off. Let's just quickly jump to her. I want to say that's the exact same as what her first skill had. Okay, no, so now she has an extra shot she can fire. Okay. So mostly this is just going to be a damage increase, which isn't bad at all because it's her main skill. Let's see what we have here. For 10 seconds, increase the user and nearby strength out. Oh, hold on a second. Okay. Okay. For 10 seconds, increases either a nearby strength ally by 5%, critical rate by 3%, skill damage by 10%, and skill gauge rate by 10%. Also gains the use on the following buffs based on the number of adventurers who are buffed by this skill, including the user. 1 or more, increases defense by 10% for 10 seconds. 2 or more, adds 10% to the modifier for critical damage. 3 or more, immediately readies user's initial skill displayed at the top of their skill list for use. Interesting. Okay, hold on a second. This shows the way this skill is worded is actually just firing something in my brain, sort of like Jimmy Neutron Blame Blast. This show's scareable, and what this is telling me is that even if she's not the one using it, it will ready your first skill instantly, which that is going to be amazing in speedrun comps. I can already see this skill alone helping the Karina speedruns, because they really go off buffs, and that skill was one of the skills they were already using. Now on top of that, you're going to get even more higher buffs, and you're going to ready your first skill. So you could literally use your first skill, use that, and then use your first skill again. And that is going to be a ridiculous amount of damage, an insane amount of damage on that. So this change is insane. It's less insane for her by herself, but it's really good for her. Also, just straight up, even if she only gets herself, they added this 10% defense, which is why this is another shot that can be fired, because then that's 5. So, all in all, this is a pretty insane buff, just in the sense of the game. Honestly, just looking at this, she's an instant 70 MC for me, because I actually use this scared skill, just in general, on my units, so I kind of want to level it up just for her. I already have her 50 MC because of that, so. She has skill haste, and she has light above 10 hits equals shadow res. As far as her skill goes, let's see. They brought this up by 2%. That's not that great. Opponent curve res, normal, and paralysis opponent. I'm guessing another 5% on that. Yes, another 5% because it's 30 in a base kit. So all in all, it's kind of, the rest of her kit's kind of underwhelming other than this, but this is a massive change. I'm assuming they're going to raise the SP cost on it, but in one sense, it doesn't even matter because just the amount of utility this skill will have in any sort of speedruns is so insanely massive. Even if you're using like a Marth comp, you know, getting another Flickering Flames up is insane. If you're using this in like, if a Grace uses this, for example, a Grace could use this and instantly get her life shield back, or a Lowen could use this and instantly get his heal back. That kind of stuff, because there are times in every Agito fight that you are standing next to everyone. Like, just 100%. So I think this skill is going to become one of the best chocolatiers into use at start. Because right at the start, you get this massive buff, and if you're having chocolatiers, it would kind of be redundant. So you can just use your skill 1, get this massive buff. If everyone uses it, it should stack. So you're going to have this gigantic buff on everyone, and then you're all going to have your skill 1 up. It's going to be insane. Honestly, this skill has the potential to break the game. Just crack it wide open. It's kind of crazy, and when I think about just the possible ways this could be used, but we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see how it's implemented. And last but certainly not least, we have Animine, the only 4-star. I'm a little sad that they didn't buff. What's her name? Summer Alisan, but this is mostly light units, so maybe Summer Alisan will come in later. Who knows? Where is Animine? There she is. Child of Miracles. Interesting, they just buffed her right as she got her first ever alternate. Okay, so let's look at these skills. Period 11 deals light damage to the target and nearby enemies and inflicts paralysis. Paralysis foes 6 extra damage. Also deals 2 bonus hits of light damage based on the number of buffs the user has. Interesting. I don't think any of that was on her first skill when she... Yeah, so this is a huge update. Now it's in paralysis enabler. It had paralysis foes 6 extra damage, and she does damage based off buffs. Again, another unit that's going to abuse this Tropic Breeze, especially if there's a Gleo on her team. She's going to abuse it. All in all, super good already. Fits right into paralysis comps, right into the modern day light comps. Who's super usable. Second skill. Increase the user strength by 20% for 10 seconds and increase their max HP for 15% for the remainder of the quest. Once an HP buff is received, a HP recovery effect will be granted instead. Right now, this is just 5% lower on both of them. So all in all, not bad at all. She's going to have 2 buffs. That's probably why they said this will number of buffs up to 2 bonus hits. So she uses her skill 2, then uses her skill 1. Perfect in kit synergy. Kobolding and Chain Kobolding don't change, of course. She now has skill prep 100. I don't think she had. Oh, she did have skill prep 100. Interesting. Okay, but she now has skill charge as well, which is actually kind of better than skill haste because you use your skills and then you just immediately get 5% back. Pretty good. Pwn Curse Res 100. Pretty standard. And Broken Punisher got an extra 15%. Okay, that's massive. It's usually only 5%, but this is 20 in her base kit, and now it's 15. Okay. All in all, I need to see mods, but this kind of seems like a Xania situation where Xania got her Somnium C, and this was right as the burn meta shifted, and because she had burn on her skill 1 and skill 2, she was super useful. Now, Light Super doesn't need a paralysis enabler, but there is a potential because there really isn't any other. I guess there's the newer Light unit that's a pretty good wand, but all in all, she could be contender for one of the best wands depending on the damage. If we look at the DPS sim really quickly, and we go to Light, let's just take a look here. Taking a minute to load. Okay, now we're on Light. So you can see here, Xuanzang is up here, but honestly, like, there isn't too much to be said about this that hasn't already been said in my other videos. All the newer Light units are ending up in the top of this list, like 100% of the time they're ending up top 10. Like, all 4 of these, I mean the 3 of these already, all got changes in the past 3 months. Alphonse and Peony came out during the Fire Emblem event, and these 2 came out. He came out like a month ago. He came out like 3 months ago. Then Mitsuhide and Chitose, which were both New Year's units. Fleur, which has always been good, and then Xuanzang, and then Galiyuden. So, in all honesty, Albert is already down here all the way. I mean, Anamine's all the way down there, but Anamine is already above Lucretia without any paralysis Punisher in kit. With paralysis Punisher in kit and a light Agito weapon, she could go massive. She could really go massive. I forgot Fiona existed and that she's a wand. So, something to worry about. However, she does not have the standard wand ability. She has light damage. So honestly, stacking the 2 of them wouldn't be that bad. But all in all, that's going to be it for me for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.